I guess we were all young and dumb at some point, but I think not many of us actually let it catch up to them. Through high school, I really saw it affect many different people, so I know exactly what the program does and how it helps so many people.
That's really one thing I try to hammer whenever I'm teaching, is just get them to think twice before they act.
The way teens drive is really carelessly. They don't really think about what they're doing. They just think about, like, in the moment, like right now I have to text my friend, like right now I need to be going like 55 and a 45.
Even though maybe they didn't want to be there in the beginning, after the class they say, "You touched me, you changed my life, you made me think."
In 2007, South Carolina had one of the worst years the state has ever seen for traffic fatalities. 1,077 overall fatalities, and 25% of those, 278, were young drivers ages 15 to 24. One high school in Irmo had lost 6 students in one calendar school year. The principal, knowing he had to do something, made contact with the South Carolina National Safety Council, and through this partnership, Alive at 25 was implemented.
Because of the traffic accidents that we had, students in the age group of 15 to 24 being involved in, we wanted to basically reduce that, and we felt that starting this program here in South Carolina would be a good start to get it done.
Alive at 25 is an innovative teen safe driving program. It bridges the gap between the knowledge and skills young drivers gain in driver's education, understanding the hazards they'll face in the driving environment.
When I found out I had to take Alive at 25, I was a little upset that I had to waste 4 hours of my day to take an extra driving course. It wasn't the type of course that I thought it was going to be. It was actually a good course, and I really believe that the information that I was told in the course can really save lives.
I don't know what makes this program so powerful. It's a combination of things. It's not just the instructors, it's not just the material. The kids actually, it's amazing to me that they buy into it so well. When I went up in 2009 to become an instructor, my first thoughts were, how are you going to get 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds to buy into this class? And it's really strange, because as soon as you get into the class, the kids are already into it, and they're giving answers that you wouldn't have even expected.
When I found out I had to take Alive at 25, I was dreading it basically, because I had to wake up really early, like 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and that's like the worst thing ever for a high schooler. So after I took the Alive at 25 course, my opinion changed completely, because I realized like this actually happens to teenagers. Like, it's not just like a movie, something that you see on TV. Like, this actually happens to people in our community. Like, people get in wrecks, people get pulled over all the time, and like that could be me at any time. Like, I could get in a car crash just because I'm, like texting my mom what I want for dinner.
Johnny Cribb. I'm retired from the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Been a part of Alive at 25 5 years. I became involved in Alive at 25 program early in 2011. And I feel like if I could save one kid from doing something destructive, especially in a vehicle, then I've done my job.
The program educates the students through focusing on the attitudes, behaviors, and decision-making paradigms that cause them to be involved in fatal collisions, while empowering them to see they have more control in most situations than they realize.
I am a sergeant with the South Carolina Highway Patrol on MATE. The MATE unit is the multidisciplinary accident investigation team, where a team that supports the field troops by investigating complex motor collisions. I wanted to get involved because what my unit does investigating these motor vehicle collisions, especially involving young people, I see that so many of them are preventable. Certain things that maybe these children didn't get before in their education, I wanted to put it out there so that maybe we could reduce some of these collisions involving the young people.
The best part about the Alive at 25 program is bringing new schools on board, the excitement of a great weekend, like 20 classes in 1 week. In August, when we did 400 classes in 1 week, and set new records for the number of students that we successfully educated.
Today at Sumter High School, we had 200 of our students come out to do the Live at 25 training. The Live at 25 training was sponsored by Continental Tire on today. They paid for it in full for all of our students and gave them lunch.
So Blitz is the fastest way to get the kids through the program, as many as possible. We partner with Alive at 25 and combine about 3 or 4 schools in the area. And during that time, we can fit about 300 or more students through the program at the time. They don't have to pay anything. And we provide the funds to help Alive at 25 put on the events, including the instructors and the food and the other products that go into the background.
By implementing the Alive at 25 program here at Sumter High School, we hope to have the children to be safe on campus, first and foremost, and off school grounds. We hope that they take the tools that they learned today and apply to their everyday lives as they, commute to and from school and to and from everyday events in their lives.
I'm a corporal with the Anderson County Sheriff's Office, and I am assigned to Pendleton High School as a resource officer. I have been involved with this program for 6 years. I get involved with the Alive at 25 program to try to help children save lives. When I'm instructing the class, first thing I tell them is a lot of this stuff that we're going to be talking about today are the videos you're going to see that I've done in the past. And they see me more as a person that way, and they open up to me more.
When we were watching the videos, I didn't think like that much just from like texting and not wearing your seatbelt could like affect somebody, and I knew about it, but seeing it like live in person or like seeing it in the video made me really think about what I was doing more, and it really scared me kind of, and just made me think about what I was doing behind the wheel.
I really tried to explain to them why it's so important to me for me to convey to them that they have to wear the seatbelt, they don't drink and drive, they make sure that they don't speed, and this is what can happen if you do. And talking to them about the word control inside and outside of the vehicle, especially things they go through on a daily basis.
I feel like the students are actually grasping the information. I don't think they're taking it because they have to. Obviously, they're enrolling because they have to, but upon completing the course, I think they're really getting the information. Whenever I'm standing in front of a class teaching, one thing that continuously goes through my mind is, if these students will just grasp the concept of good consequences come with good decisions and bad consequences follow bad decisions, if they can just grasp that concept and think twice before they decide to pass that car unlawfully or before they decide not to clip their belt on.
Getting involved with the program, I had a lot of reasons behind it. Mainly it was for the safe driving, meeting with the kids, finding a way that we could go in and take the time that I've had a law enforcement officer and be able to go in and get more one-on-one time with them and use what I know, what I've experienced to use that to hopefully help save their lives.
Since the Alive at 25 program was brought to South Carolina, we have seen a 44% reduction in young driver fatalities. This reduction has been brought about not just by the program, but by the partnerships and support from many different types of people who are all fighting for the same cause, to eliminate young driver fatalities.
Well, since 2007, Greenville County has been #1 in teenage traffic fatalities. So when I came on as injury prevention coordinator for the trauma program at Greenville Health System, I was looking for ways and organizations to collaborate with to decrease those fatalities and to make everyone safer. Would very much like to work towards making Alive at 25 mandatory in all of Greenville County and all of Spartanburg County, really in as many schools as we possibly can. The more the better.
I'm a good advocate for Alive at 25 because within my area and the schools that I teach in, I work that area also. I'm involved with the collisions that occur, and I feel like I can relate to those kids living in the area and growing up in the area. I feel as though I know them and are a little more attached to them.
One of my first classes, coming through the door, I see the Director of Transportation, Miss Sandy Watkins. She was there with her grandson, and she actually sat through the course with her grandson that day. After that class, she came up to me and she asked what would she have to do to get her driving staff through the course. She implemented that every one of her drivers district-wide go through the Alive at 25 program. Every one of our bus drivers they went through the program to kind of give them a better look at how students from the ages of 15 to 24, what their thought process is, how they're responding to different situations. They're not exactly connecting consequences with decisions.
So many people are affected through the Alive at 25 program, from not just students that have to have it to have their parking permit, but adults who might not understand how often their kids are out speeding or making bad choices. I think it really kind of helps open everybody's eyes and make it so that they can't play dumb to it. They can't ignore it anymore. They know that it's there. that's in their face.
Alive at 25 partners with local law enforcement agencies, schools, parents, judicial courts, and community members to raise awareness and increase education regarding teen safe driving. The success of the program is truly dependent on each and every one of our partners and supporters.
Herndon Chevrolet felt like this was a perfect partnership between us and Alive at 25. We both are involved in the community. We both want to keep our children safe. Chevrolet certainly prides itself on building a vehicle that has high levels of safety. We know that that was a commitment from the manufacturer. We knew that it was a commitment from Herndon Chevrolet.
We've been exposed to Alive at 25 within our district for many years now. Students are very open to taking that course. Often they believe that their driver safety information they receive from the Department of Motor Vehicles is sufficient, but we always encourage them to be lifelong learners. So taking part in this activity just further exposes them to areas of safety as they're driving in the highways.
Continental Tire partners with the Alive at 25 program to help infuse that partnership with the road and our tires in the community. Since we are located in the community that most of the Alive at 25 Blitz happens, it helps to bridge the gap between our consumers and our products and to help develop teens and their parents.
The reason that I got involved with the Alive at 25 program was because of the fact that I've been a resident of South Carolina for the past 18 years, and I had a lot of involvement with the public as far as doing community relations type positions. And I felt that since I was working with the National Safety Council, I really believed in the fact that their programs were there to save lives.
I have taken a Alive at 25 class. I actually audited one at Greer High School. One thing that stood out about the Alive at 25 class that I audited, it had a lot of personal stories regarding Blue Ridge High School tragedies, and that's in the area. So, we knew about all those, and it hit even more to home hearing those tragedies right there on a personal level. I knew about them, but to actually meet the people through other safe driving events and auditing the class was very powerful. Again, truly the program saves lives.
One of the things that we attribute the success to is our amazing instructors. We utilize current or prior certified law enforcement officers to instruct the course to our young drivers. We feel that our first responders who work these collisions day in and day out are best equipped to educate our young drivers.
The instructor development course was very intense. It was what I expected and more.
The special requirements for the Alive at 25 program are that you must be a law enforcement officer within the state of South Carolina. Also that you can do this within your off-duty hours. I, at the time, was not a law enforcement agent, but took the opportunity to seek out the Constables Association to be able to pursue this opportunity.
The instructor development course was definitely more than what I expected. I really went down there not knowing what to expect, and about 20 minutes into the first day, I was sold on it.
They're also able to bring a personal touch to the program through their knowledge and personal experiences.
The key thing that keeps me wanting to teach the Alive at 25 program is saving the youth's lives.
It opens the door for these kids to look at law enforcement in a different way. They also expect something from you whenever you walk in the door, and whenever you tell them, hey, I'm in law enforcement here, they feel like they can open up a little bit more to you.
I've had several students and stories that have come back to mean something to me. One was simply a young man saw me in a grocery store, and he said, hey, you're the one that taught me Alive at 25. And I said, yes, sir. He said, the other day I was going down the hill and a car come through a stop sign it was almost just like you said. I was doing everything I was supposed to, he said, and I avoided the wreck. And he said, when I got through the other side, I was like, oh my gosh, it worked. The first thing I thought about was you standing up there talking about, evading left and evading right. He said, because you made the jokes about the word evade.
Our instructors exhibit incredible passion for saving young lives and take the responsibility of education very personally.
I take away from this program that we're making kids safer drivers. That's what it's all about. It's amazing to see how much the stats have shown that kids that take this course are safer drivers. And it is, one life lost is one too many.
Well, the reason I continue to be a part of the program, one, I enjoy teaching the class. I enjoy being around young people and hearing their reaction to things that I talk to them about. After I retired, I was involved with a local school, and I worked there for a year, and I saw what just speaking to them and taking the time to listen does for a child that's going through, the hardest part of their life. I believe in the program, and that's why I continue to do it.
The reason why I want to become an instructor, I lost a cousin back in 1990 in a vehicle crash. She was only 19 years old. She didn't have her seatbelt on during the crash, and she was ejected through the sunroof. So that's my passion, that's my reason for wanting to become an instructor for a Live at 25 program.
I consider my biggest accomplishment being the fact that I've been able to get additional schools on board, such as Greenwood High, Emerald High, Dixie and Abbeville. Got them on board with the program and helped get it implemented within their schools.
Yeah, I have seen such a great level of passion from my co-workers in this program that I also wanted to be a part of it so we could affect a difference, be proactive instead of being reactive on the end of these collisions, maybe prevent these collisions from ever happening.
The key thing that I want to get across to the youth is that they can make good decisions that will help them in life and make better choices.
I have 3 children. Kennedy is 18, and then Cameron is 14, and then Logan will be 13 in December. So Kennedy took the class, and then Cameron and Logan will take it because I truly believe it helps the children.
When the program started here at Dutch Fork High School, there was a young lady that was a cheerleader that was tragically killed in an accident, and my daughter and her were the same age, and both were cheerleaders. And showing that video of hers, Megan, really stuck with me, and I really took it to heart. And I could relate to that, and I'm here now, being instructor for this previous since 2007.
The reason I've stayed in teaching Alive at 25 so long, I think partly is to see that it's made somewhat of a difference, to see where they are driving safer, the statistics that are coming around that they are doing better, the seatbelt usage, things of that nature that we're seeing. And then from a personal touch, I got a 16-year-old in my house. I got a 14-year-old in my house. And for the first time in my life, it's my kids that may die in those cars. And now it's important that I don't just teach the kids in my neighborhood and the kids in York County and the kids in South Carolina, but now I'm teaching my kids. These other officers that teach this class are teaching their kids.
As of December 2015, over 116,000 students have completed the Alive at 25 program. Our goal was 100,000, and as you can see, we blew that out of the water. Reaching this milestone is an amazing tribute to our sponsors, our partners, and our instructors.
After I took the Alive at 25 course, every time I get into the car, I definitely put my seatbelt on. Check everything just to make sure everything's proper and ready to go.
I'd like to see it mandatory to have to take Alive at 25, and not just once and done, but maybe a refresher course. Continue to educate yourself, maybe a second course, maybe a more in-depth learning process about it, and continue to see people be affected by it.
I mean, driving is a big thing in life, and it can kill you in a heartbeat. So I think that you should take everything in and watch the videos and really think about what you're doing behind the wheel. Don't take it as a joke.
My objective going forward with Alive at 25 is for more participation throughout the state. We have classes in the Low Country, we have classes in the Upstate, but there are so many areas throughout the state where we have no participation. I would love to see Alive at 25 in every county, in every school district, and everywhere within the state.
I was excited for my son to be involved in Alive at 25. I knew that he would get some skills that he needed, certainly, to be a good driver, even though he was an inexperienced driver. So for me as a parent, I knew that it was essential.
After I took the course, I realized there's other people on the road, there's other lives at stake, and I can't text and drive and risk everyone else's life on the road just for the sake of me sending a text.
We couldn't be more blessed and proud to work with each and every one of you who are fighting towards our goal of 0, because one life lost is one too many. We look forward to continuing our mission and can't wait to see what the future holds for the Alive at 25 program.
All of us here with the South Carolina National Safety Council and the Alive at 25 program would like to say a big thank you to everyone who helps make this program successful.
Our instructors, school sponsors,
law enforcement, and all other critical parts of this program.
Due to your passion, dedication, and desire to save young lives, we have seen a continual decrease in young driver fatalities and will continue to work to see this.
And again, thank you. Without y'all, none of this would be possible. We can't wait to see what our future holds.